Alright people, today I'm going to be showing you guys how to create your double exposure on the cyanotypes that we made in class. So, we're going to go over a couple things, how to overlay your photos and use different blend modes. We're going to talk through different filters that you can apply to kind of match the graininess of that naturally occurs with the cyanotypes. And we're gonna go ahead and get started. Pretty simple stuff, okay? Alright, so first things first, you're gonna wanna start out with two photos open in Photoshop. One being the scan of the cyanotype that you created with your items that symbolize you in some way. And then the second image is a portrait of you that we took in class. Okay, so what we are going to do is we're going to go ahead and get started by editing our cyanotype from its original scan. So here you can see that this is what it looked like when I scanned it into the computer. It's a little bit crooked just because of the way that it sat in the scanner bed. And it's also landscape and I want it to be portrait. So what I'm gonna do to fix that is I'm gonna go over to my trusty crop tool, and I have my crop set out to 10 by 7.5. And you might think that if you wanted it to be portrait, you would go ahead and throw it into portrait mode. Now, that is not what I want to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and switch that back. I'm going to finish cropping it in. I think I want more of the top of the photo. There's a lot of like white space down here, which is fine, but I just think there's more interesting elements happening up towards the top. I'm going to go ahead, bring that in, and it doesn't need to be perfect. Like if I have a little bit of white space coming off the edge, something like this, that's fine, because then, maybe not quite like that. So you can crop it like that. You can also go in with your straightening tool if you wanted to straighten it. Kind of follow the angle that you're trying to straighten, and then you can straighten it out this way as well. And then from there, go ahead, take that. Alright, and then once you're happy with your crop, and now we need to change it so that it could be in portrait mode, I'm going to go up to image rotation, and then I want these like leaves to be on the bottom of it, so therefore I need to rotate mine counterclockwise by 90 degrees. So there we go. Now I have my cyanotype all kind of cropped up and scanned in, all good to go. I don't really have to do anything else with this one. I could go in and do like a couple of like editing things. If I wanted to change the contrast, I could go in and kind of bump that up a little bit to make my blues a little bit deeper. I could also go in, adjust levels. Alright, and then with that, I'd want to go ahead and I'd want to merge all my visible before I bring in my other one, just to make the next step easier. So make sure you kind of are happy with how that looks. Then I'm going to go over to this photo of myself, and then I'm going to do a couple of things. I'm going to go ahead and change this to a black and white photo. Now, this photo is already very dark, and when we bring it into the cyanotype, I might want some of the lights and the midtones back. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to kind of just like lighten this photo up more than I typically would. I kind of like this light coming down from coming up from the bottom left hand side. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of embrace that a little bit more. Magenta's not gonna do much. Then from there, I'm gonna go ahead and adjust my levels. And like I said, I'm just gonna kind of generally lighten the whole photo up a little bit. Just so that it has more impact on the cyanotype. All right, then I'm gonna go over here. I'm gonna merge my visible layers, and then very, very simple, I'm gonna go in and I'm going to do my object selection tool. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and make sure that it's grabbing everything. So if I go here, I notice it's not grabbing this portion of my shirt. Oops. And I'm gonna go ahead and just fix that up real quick. All right, so making sure that you're happy with your selection and everything looks good. Then I'm gonna go over to my move tool and I'm just going to take myself out of the photo, don't have to worry about the background, and I'm gonna go ahead and drag myself out and into this photo. Now, that photo was just way larger, so I'm gonna have to resize it down, no problem. And then I'm gonna have to pick where I want to go in the photo. Now, I don't really love the orientation of, or like the direction that I'm looking in the photo. I would like it if it was kind of flipped more to the other side. So what I can do is very simple thing. You guys know these steps, but I can go up to my edit. I can go to transform, and then I'm gonna go ahead and hit flip horizontally, and then that fixes that problem. And then I can just go ahead and place myself where I want and line things up how I want, and that might change later once I start to add my blend modes and I can see more of the background. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go ahead and select my blend mode. And once I open up my option, you might have to hit the move tool just to have it like unselect your portrait. And then I'm gonna go ahead and look through my options to see what could work best for me. I personally feel that screen color dodge could be good. Overlay, soft light if you have a lighter image, hard light, linear light, or luminosity are the best options for this. Now, do notice with luminosity, if you do enjoy this one, know that in the white spaces, it's going to look more black and white, just on the portrait of you. So any area that overlaps with the white of the cyanotype will appear gray, which could be a very interesting stylistic choice, but personally, I think that hard light works best for me. I think that looks best. Shows off kind of the background really well. And then I'm gonna go ahead and just line things up. And then from there too, you can also change your opacity. I might change mine to 80% just to kind of narrow it down, maybe 85, that looks a little bit better. I kind of like to line my shoulder up with this leaf that's here just to kind of keep things a little bit cohesive. The roundness of my glasses kind of are mimicked with the roundness of the rim of this glass that I put down here. And then I have this little like dragonfly earring that I put on my cyanotype, and so I want to leave that so that it is visible. I don't want to overlap that at all. Alright, so you might be looking at this being like, oh, that's good, that's done. But we do also want to match up our photo with kind of the like blurry, unrefined edges of our cyanotype objects. So what we're gonna do now is, while selected on your layer 1, you're gonna go into filter, you're gonna go into your blur and select Gaussian blur, and it will default you like all the way over here, and then you're like, okay, I'm gone, bye. We want to just like ever so slightly Gaussian blur. I would say not going above a 3.0. I even was just doing like a 1.0 just to keep things very subtle. Maybe like a 1.5 even, but just given that we're gonna add another filter, I'm gonna stick with just 1.0 for now. All right, so I can go ahead and hit OK on that. And then next, what I'm gonna go ahead and do is I am going to go in and I'm going to add noise. Now, noise is going to be on a percentage scale. So I would say for noise, and you can obviously look at the preview. Once you start to get to like 20 on this photo, you start to look, it looks less like a cyanotype and it looks more like a you know, fuzzy TV channel. So I would say stick between like 10 and 15 for this one. And then also make sure that you have this checked off, this little box that says monochromatic, because if not, it will like have, you can kind of see, you have all of these different color pixels, but we want to keep our pixels within this like blue, white to blue range. So that is the second filter that you're going to add on. And then you're just going to go ahead and really make sure that you have everything that you want, sort things out. If you want to go in and kind of add levels on top of this, just to sort things out even more, you're more than welcome to do that once again, just to kind of make the photo feel whole. So once you guys are done, once you've done your edit, what you're gonna do is you are going to file, export as, and just as always, JPEG, and then you're going to go ahead and put that in your Photo 2 folder underneath a new folder called Cyanotype Double Exposure. This is where you are going to save your scan to, as well as the portrait you take. So there should just be those 3 items, as well as the JPEG that you're about to save, and the PSD version that you'll save to. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I will go ahead and name it with my initials. I'll do CDE for Cyanotype Double Exposure, and then you can go ahead and do final edit. All right, and then I'm going to go ahead and hit save on that. I'm going to go ahead and save as. I can do the same naming convention. Make sure that's also going to the right spot. All right, and then from there, you're just going to turn in this and you're good to go. All right, thank you for watching and happy editing.